Hello everyone! I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up thank you. We honestly never saw this coming for Maria. Kidnapping Dom after all these years? Walking away from her marriage to her beloved Tessa? Ditching adopted daughter Aria? The stunning developments have left young and restless fans wondering about her future in Genoa City. And we're here to tell you that, sadly, it's not looking good. While Maria kidnapping Aria after seeing Tessa and Daniel together might have made more sense, the powers that be decided on a twist with far more dire consequences, given she's abducted someone else's child. Even attempted kidnapping comes with a penalty of up to 20 years in prison. Let's not forget that Maria also attempted to murder a man on her work trip. Legally speaking, this whole mess is really piling up for Tessa's wife. Can we talk about this kidnapping? The envelope was stretched to the ripping point on this one. Are we to believe that Maria went into Crimson Lights to get Dom his favorite cookies and wasn't recognized by anyone who works in her mother's establishment? It's not like her disguise was actually disguising her at all. Even more outlandish is the idea that she abducted the kid from the estate of a billionaire and wealthy heiress and there was zero security. Now, this is a soap opera where security footage is selectively available. Anyone can walk up to Victor or Jack's door, and Kane lives on a train that doesn't so much as have a surveillance doorbell. So we can live with the sad state of affairs at the Chancellor estate. But our next complaint is truly unbelievable. We have to assume that slipping in and out of the mansion to abduct Dom unseen and unheard was a fairly stealthy undertaking. So, at what point would Maria have stopped to remove her scarf and fold it neatly over the back of a chair? Seriously now, if Devon and Abby were thinking clearly, they would just head straight over to the local no-tell motel and pick up their son. After all, it's the place where literally every kidnapping victim in Genoa City ends up. Anyway, moving on to why we feel Maria's future in Genoa City is looking grim. Well, there are two reasons. One, spoilers indicate that Maria will hit the road, so she's literally leaving town. Given this is a soap, there's always the possibility that we won't see or hear from her and Dom for years. Second, it's more likely, given the clues left behind, that Maria will be caught. After all, Detective Burrow will be on the job, and then she'll have some serious charges to face. One can safely bet that she'll be going away for a while, whether it be to the state pen or good old Fairview. Either way, Maria's future in Genoa City, at least for the foreseeable future, is looking grim. In Genoa City, hope is never a permanent resident. It arrives in bursts, settles briefly, and then slips away when no one is looking. For Maria Copeland, that truth feels sharper than ever. Her journey has always been defined by survival, reinvention, and a stubborn refusal to let her past dictate her future. Yet lately, the ground beneath her feet seems to be cracking in ways that even her resilience may not be able to withstand. The signs are subtle but unmistakable. Maria's future in Genoa City is growing darker, and the heartbreak looming ahead feels inevitable. Maria has never had an easy place in this town. From the moment she arrived, she existed on the margins, shaped by manipulation, emotional neglect, and a desperate need to belong. She fought her way into the Newman and Abbott orbit not through privilege but through sheer will. Over time, she carved out an identity built on honesty, vulnerability, and emotional intelligence. That hard-won growth made her one of Genoa City's quiet success stories. But in a place where happiness is often punished, success tends to come with a cost. The first warning sign lies in isolation. Genoa City thrives on connections, alliances, and constant emotional entanglement. Lately, Maria's world has been shrinking. Her professional life has lost its momentum, her personal relationships feel strained, and her emotional support system appears increasingly fragile. When characters in this town begin to drift to the edges of the canvas, it is rarely accidental. It is often the prelude to loss, exit, or devastation. At the center of Mariah's emotional universe stands her family, and that foundation has never been entirely stable. Her bond with Sharon has always been complicated, layered with love, guilt, and mutual healing. While that relationship once served as an anchor, it now carries its own weight of unresolved tension and unspoken fears. Sharon's ongoing struggles and crises have repeatedly pulled Mariah into caretaker mode, forcing her to prioritize survival over self-fulfillment. Over time, that dynamic has chipped away at Mariah's sense of agency. Instead of building forward, she has been stuck holding things together. Then there is the lingering ache of motherhood, or more accurately, the complicated aftermath of it. Becoming a mother through surrogacy changed Mariah in irreversible ways. What began as an act of love evolved into a source of profound emotional trauma. The bond she formed, the loss she endured, and the grief she was never fully allowed to process left scars beneath the surface. Juneau City has a habit of reopening old wounds, and Mariah's unresolved maternal grief remains one of the most dangerous emotional fault lines in her story. It is not healed, it is merely dormant. That grief intersects painfully with her marriage. What once felt like one of the show's most grounded and authentic love stories now carries an undercurrent of distance. Tessa and Mariah were built on mutual understanding and emotional safety, a rare commodity in Juneau City. But even the strongest relationships struggle under the weight of unspoken resentment and divergent needs. Tessa's creative ambitions and evolving sense of self seem to be pulling her forward, while Maria remains emotionally tethered to past trauma. When partners begin to grow at different speeds, the silence between them becomes louder than any argument. This emotional imbalance sets the stage for heartbreak. Juneau City history suggests that when a couple stops fighting and starts enduring, the end is already in motion. Mariah's tendency to internalize pain rather than confront it only accelerates that trajectory. Her instinct is to protect others, even if it means erasing herself in the process. In a marriage, that pattern can quietly become destructive. Professionally, Mariah's prospects are equally uncertain. Her career once gave her purpose and confidence, a sense that she mattered beyond her relationships. Recently, that sense of direction has faded. Opportunities feel limited, storylines sparse, and her presence increasingly reactive rather than proactive. In the language of soap operas, this often signals a character being written into a corner. Without a clear professional path, Mariah's identity risks collapsing inward, defined only by her emotional pain. Juneau City is not kind to characters who lose narrative momentum. They either explode into scandal or fade away quietly. For Mariah, the former feels more likely. Her history makes her vulnerable to relapse, emotional breakdown, or a crisis that forces her to confront everything she has buried. The show has never shied away from pushing her to the brink, and the current setup feels like a slow, deliberate march toward another reckoning. There is also the haunting question of belonging. Despite years in Juneau City, Mariah still often feels like an outsider. She is connected to powerful families, but never fully absorbed into their inner circles. She exists adjacent to power rather than within it. That liminal position makes her expendable in a town driven by legacy and bloodlines. When conflicts escalate and loyalties are tested, characters like Mariah are often the ones left behind. Adding to the sense of foreboding is the thematic pattern surrounding her character. Mariah's story has always been about resilience in the face of abandonment. Each time she builds something stable, it is taken away or destabilized. That cycle has repeated too consistently to ignore. Happiness for Mariah has never been allowed to last. The grim implication is that another loss is not only possible but narratively expected. Even her strengths work against her. Mariah's empathy, honesty, and emotional openness make her deeply human, but in Genoa City, those traits are liabilities. This is a town that rewards manipulation, secrecy, and strategic cruelty. Characters who lead with their hearts are often crushed by those who lead with ambition. Mariah's refusal to become hardened may be noble, but it leaves her exposed in an environment that preys on vulnerability. The emotional weather surrounding her suggests an approaching storm. Whether it arrives in the form of marital fracture, personal breakdown, or a devastating choice, the outcome feels increasingly unavoidable. The writers seem to be positioning Mariah at a crossroads where staying means continued pain, and leaving may be the only path to survival. For a character who has fought so hard to belong, that possibility is heartbreaking. If Mariah's future in Genoa City is grim, it is not because she lacks strength. It is because she has already given so much of it away. She has carried others, absorbed their damage, and sacrificed her own healing in the process. Eventually, even the strongest hearts reach a breaking point. Genoa City has a way of pushing its most compassionate souls to the edge, then asking them to choose between self-preservation and loyalty.